Two people can live the same distance from a city and still live completely different lives. One gets there in an hour, the other needs most of a day. That difference changes everything. We usually imagine inequality in money, sometimes in borders, sometimes in race or class. But geography hides a more brutal version: how long it takes to reach a city. In 2018, Daniel Weiss and his co-authors published a paper in Nature that tried to measure exactly that. Not straight-line distance, not vague remoteness, actual travel time to cities across the entire world in 2015. They built a global map at roughly 1 kilometer resolution. They combined data on roads, terrain, rivers, land cover, transport conditions, and urban locations to estimate how quickly people could realistically reach a city. In total, the model linked human movement conditions to 13,840 high-density urban centers. And in this paper, a city is not just a cluster of buildings. A city is where opportunity gets concentrated. Hospitals, schools, jobs, markets, government services, infrastructure, and connections. So travel time to a city is really travel time to opportunity. This is where the paper gets brutal. Among people living in low-income settings, only 50.9% lived within 1 hour of a city. In high-income settings, that number was 90.7%. Same planet, completely different access to the machinery of modern life. And this is not just about inconvenience. If a city is far away in travel time, not just in kilometers, then healthcare arrives later, school options shrink, selling goods becomes harder, job searches become more expensive, emergency response gets slower. The clock starts deciding who gets chances and who gets left behind. That is the part maps often hide. 100 kilometers is not one thing. On a paved road, it can be manageable. Across rough terrain, weak infrastructure, river crossings, or poor transport networks, it becomes a wall. Distance looks neutral. Time exposes the inequality underneath. That is what makes this paper so powerful. It does not just show where cities are, it shows who can actually reach them. And once you see that, development looks different, poverty looks different, even the phrase remote area starts to feel misleading. Some places are not just remote, they are cut off from speed. If you are born where roads are weak, transport is slow, and the nearest city takes hours to reach, your life does not just move slower. Your options shrink before you make a single choice. That is the cruel part. Geography is not just scenery. It quietly decides how fast opportunity can find you. Weiss and his co-authors gave us more than a map. They gave us a way to see global inequality in hours instead of kilometers. And once you see the world that way, one thing becomes hard to ignore. Some people are not poor only because they have less. They are poor because reaching everything takes too long. The world is not divided only by wealth. It is divided by time. This is why geography,